we have Texas in it, we got Alabama in it, we got Washington in it, and we have Michigan in it. And I swear nobody is winning the I am who I am, damn it, contest over Jim Harbaugh anytime in life. Because I feel like two things are happening in this current discussion of the playoff. A, we're talking a lot about a team that's not in it that nobody thinks can win it. It's kind of cute, quaint that we're really getting so caught up in that. But then number two, the polarizing topic of Michigan, and we're not actually asking ourselves, are we sure they can win this thing? Because I don't feel like we got a powerhouse in this time.
We don't. We have a lot of, I think we have a lot of what we would call countervailing strengths and weaknesses. We have a lot of teams that are capable of putting another team in an uncomfortable position, but are themselves vulnerable to something else. Michigan, the scariest thing for Michigan to me is if they get in the position where they need to start scoring points. Ideally, what Michigan wants to do is they want to grapple, they want to slow this game down, and they want to dominate with the run game and both lines along the line of scrimmage. That's cool. That's cool. But we saw last year, TCU flipped them on their back fast and they panicked. And they did score points, but did not have enough to keep up with them. And I feel like there are two teams in this shebang, Texas and Washington, who both fit the bill in terms of being able to pour some points on, really lay some smoke there, and maybe put you in a position you don't want to be in. Additionally, I think Alabama's a terrible matchup right now because Jalen Milroe, he's very new school in the fact that he is a dual threat quarterback. Okay, that is something that I think over the past 25 years we can say is definitely a new school thing. He's very old school in that he's going to complete half his passes. Where are they going? Someplace that hurts. They're going someplace that really, really hurts. I can't really explain it, but like there's some sort of limiter to where I saw that Jalen Milroe had completed 70% of his passes, I'd be like, they lost. They lost that game. That meant that they were throwing nothing but short stuff and easy screens.
To play it.
No. Jalen Milroe is the kind of guy who really is like a large, what we call a large Bills only kind of withdrawal at the bank. Like it's going 40 yards downfield. And somebody's coming down with it, okay? Or he'll do what he did at the end of the game by getting a first down that you didn't expect him to get.
He's the guy that offers a phrase that is rarely heard. Do you have change for a 50?
Yeah, exactly. He's the guy. He's the guy out there carrying what? Grants? Yeah, he's carrying Grants and Franklin's only, and it gets weird. So I think Michigan's got tough matchups. They're a tough matchup for everyone there, but I don't see anybody who's truly dominant. And that's, by the way, everybody's at like 50%. Texas, when somebody goes, well, how can Texas win this whole thing? They haven't been there. They haven't. Texas, have you seen their defensive line? Sometimes you want football to make things easy for you at the end of the season. There is no larger, blunter, or more powerful instrument than Texas's defensive line right now because you're not running on them in the middle. It's not. T'Vondre Sweat's there. T'Vondre Sweat weighs 362 pounds, and I swear to God, he's not fat. He ain't big. He's just, how's this? He ain't big. He's just huge.
Yes, I swear. Like, I want to get back to Texas in a minute because it is interesting that 7-win Sark figured it out and got them to this place that they're in. The thing I always think about with Michigan, though, I don't know if they're the hardest team to prepare for, but they look like they're no fun to play against. Like the Jim Harbaugh mantra has been for as long as we've known him, we're going to make this hurt. He managed to put together teams at Stanford that made it hurt. Like we are just as an ethos, as an idea. I think I may have told the story here before, but when they played that year in the playoffs in San Francisco, that first year, and they played against the Saints, and nobody had watched them all year long because none of us believed, right? Like it had never gotten to a point where you felt compelled to actually watch them. And they gave the ball to Pierre Thomas, and Dante Whitner went and knocked that back when we could like marvel at people getting concussed. He went and hit that dude so hard, and he went straight down. And I was like, oh, so the whole philosophy here is just that we're going to beat the hell out of people. Got you. He has finally gotten that to a place because offensive football basically went in a direction that Jim Harbaugh was not ready for it to go. But he got the talent ramped up and, maybe some auxiliary intel that got them to the point where they're like, yeah, we just be out here beating the hell out of people. I went up there and watched them play against Michigan State last year, had pretty good seats. And I was just like, oh, these boys hit really, really hard. I don't feel like we're going to beat the hell out of you is the way to go about trying to beat the Alabama Crimson Tide. I just don't feel like that because you're not going to do that. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that. I couldn't even see Les Miles teams do that.
I don't feel like it's the way to go against Texas, frankly. I don't feel like it's the way to go against this Washington team because, as you saw, Oregon, who is very much what we call a football team, came out twice in a row determined to like knock your teeth out, and they got pushed off the ball by a Washington offensive line who is deeply underrated. They're very mean and very motivated. I think you saw against Oregon in the second matchup particularly. They were going to snatch chains without apology and did the entire game. I think it's a tough pull for anyone when somebody goes, well, what's the better matchup? Who's actually, like, is it just Michigan? No, not at all. Especially because I want to see how J.J. McCarthy recovers after a little bit of rest. I think he was dinged up at the end of the season. I think that's one reason that they were doing things like calling 30 runs in a row. They were also calling 30 runs in a row because they thought it was cool and because Penn State couldn't do anything about it. But I want to see how they've recovered from that. Ultimately, for me, Michigan defensively, that's not a question because first thing Harbaugh is going to work on both sides of the ball are run fits. It's not like you're going to find an unoccupied gap with somebody who's going to be real nice meeting you against Michigan. They're mean. Whatever door you choose is a bad one. But I want to see if they get into a position where they need to score some points, whether offensively they're going to be able to pass their way down the field. And man, they really should be, because if anyone has a better play action threat, show me. They don't. Like they have. You want to talk about establishing the run? That is the most established run. If you're like, you're going to establish, Michigan's overdrawn in terms of credit for the run. They can pass. I would just like to see them do it.
I tell you something, Michigan, if they manage to win this, it'll be very similar to the Patriots winning the Spygate season, or no, the Tom Brady season, the Deflategate season. Sorry, I got my gates mixed up. There will absolutely be something to that, because part of the fun with Jim Harbaugh is whether or not he's lying isn't the point, because he believes every word that he says. He believes every word he says with a startling conviction, all the way down to the idea that now it's okay for quarterbacks to eat chickens, because he used to say that chickens were they a fearful bird? Is that what he called them?
Yeah, they were a fearful bird. They were going to make you play anxious football.
Yes. The anxious bird. That's right. They were anxious bird. And now he owns some chickens and he understands the resolve of chickens a little bit better. And so he's okay with his quarterbacks eating chicken. And these aren't jokes, man. He believes this stuff. Prize Picks is the most fun you can have by winning up to 25 times your money this football season. And now you can play during basketball season too. You just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. Prize Picks is really simple to play. You can make our picks and submit your entry in less than 60 seconds. So make sure you go to prizepicks.com/Bomani and use code Bomani for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/Bomani. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.